RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, it's shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for this afternoon, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? It's LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir.
The undisputed boxing podcast.
Yes, sir. Always, and nothing else really compared. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but that original.
Shout outs to Ireland, Ghana, India, everybody around the world who's downloading the videos on Podomatic. We see you.
Yeah, no, y'all love our stuff, yo, and we're truly humbled too by the amount of downloads that we see that y'all be getting. Like, geez. It's like, wow. I mean, we're just talking about boxing, some other stuff, but y'all really, y'all jump on it as soon as I post them.
Yeah, shout outs Canada, France. Like, I know I'm missing some, but god damn it, it's the whole world.
UK, like, I know there's a whole bunch, like, so if we didn't mention y'all, it's not we didn't forget y'all. It's like there's a lot of countries. Now me on that and Anchor too that we have at least 30 different countries that show up in like where people actually listen to our stuff, man. So
just show up to the YouTube page now and the website.
Exactly. The YouTube is where everything is. Old, new, whatever, it's in other stuff that doesn't get posted on Podomatic or Anchor. It's all there. So y'all just gotta get down. Oh man, no, but yes sir, Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey yo, what's good, y'all? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio in the building all day. Let's go.
Hey, King P, Bodega P, straight from the sewer. Except, I think you above ground today. You taking a little breaky from, fighting crime and whatnot. Is that correct?
Yeah, today is this weekend has been a gardening weekend. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take out the plants in the back. You dig?
I dig. Definitely dig, man. We'll definitely, we'll go more into that particular activity for sure, though. But as usual, man, we definitely salute you for your service for, keeping the city safe from all the miscreants and reprobates out there, and especially the fucking rats out there that still walk around. It seems like the more rats we stomp out, the more that the more that appear, man. Don't worry.
They never die. They multiply.
Ain't we saving this nigga from the rats? Like,
we are.
But I gotta hold my own before I save them. I can't just I can't get overwhelmed like immediately. It's like imagine if the silly putty, the putty patrol, overwhelmed the Power Rangers immediately. Like, nah, fuck that. I gotta get my licks in.
That's facts, though.
True.
Shit, no. Oh man, but like I said, we definitely salute you for your service as usual. And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, fully undisputed on that plant pat. Let's get it, man.
Yes, sir.
I mean, no, wait, hold on.
Sleepy's awake today.
Yeah. How you gonna have two different nicknames?
Oh shit, no, but yeah, it's good though. Pilot, he stays elevated above the clouds. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Conscious Pilot. That's his name. Don't forget.
He came through on the flying Nimbus and shit.
Already. Oh man, but yeah, we definitely got we got a good show for y'all today, man. Obviously, the big topic of conversation is the fallout between one Saul Canelo Alvarez and one Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. The fight itself was, let's just say, there was definitely a lot of questions and a lot of different answers. Especially afterwards on boxing Twitter. Oof, talk about opinions being thrown around.
So y'all getting right into it. Y'all say like fuck the undercard.
I mean, the undercard wasn't much to write home about outside of uppercut season.
Yeah, uppercut season. Trust me. Yeah, no. Yeah, because the only thing I was worried about the undercard was Anthony Dirrell struggling with Marcos Hernandez, which would probably hasten the end of his career if that was the case. But at least Anthony at least showed that he still had something left in him from his old days, and let loose. This shit was damn near a bolo uppercut.
That nigga said, "Who are you kicking?"
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, it's rare to see an uppercut land on someone that starts at the top of the arc. You don't see uppercuts like that.
He looped that shit. That was a Navarrete uppercut.
There's like cock
He
back.
was missing the jump.
Like usually when a fighter throws a punch like that as a lead punch at that, usually a boxer should be able to see that shit coming. And Hernandez,
you know what it was like? Dude didn't expect it. Certain punches work one time and one time only, so you got to get like the maximum result with that shit. And I'm glad he did.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, because Hernandez was going in face first, like Hernandez was trying to make it a little dirty, and shout out to Jay Lewis. Yes, Morrow with his ain't no party like an uppercut party because the uppercut party don't stop. He said, yeah, definitely Jay Lewis. Yeah, that was Morrow was on one with that.
And the dude was like uppercut party. I'm like, just say uppercut season, damn it.
Yeah, no, it looked like. Yeah, I mean, it looked like to me that Hernandez, once he got hit with that shit, was doing the Degeneration X chop on the ground, like
he was applauded it. Like, he was
I didn't think his mind was on, because his eyes showed that he was in the bushes, and I was just like, but he got up though, which was even more surprising. He actually got up before the 10 count. Like honestly, I wouldn't even blame him if he just sat down there and continued to do the X chops and stuff like that and applaud. Yo, but I was like, okay, but at least Dirrell, he understood the assignment, because he was later on in the post fight, he was like, man, give me Canelo, I'm just gonna retire. Like, he was straightforward. I mean, that's how most Detroit niggas are anyways, man. Like, the Flint, Michigan niggas, then it's like, yeah, just, look here, I'm not even gonna bullshit y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this bullshit, just give me Canelo.
He came on there with them 50 boy swag.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he understood that he had to be spectacular, because if he struggled against Hernandez, the shit was gonna be over. Like, who the fuck was gonna fight him? Like, no, there's no good fight. So,
Hernandez was tailor made for him. But the thing is, Dirrell was at a point where he would still struggle with tailor made guys. So it was good to see him just kind of
get rid of one.
Away.
Yeah, like, the Tyrone Davis fight, which was kind of like we talked about before, and I was disheartened by that fight a little bit. And then the
Tyrone Davis fall above his head though, like
he did, but it didn't help that Tyrone Davis after that nearly lost his fight after that, which was like, true. Yeah, it was like one of those like that. I wasn't feeling that. And of course, we'll talk more about Tyrone Davis later on.
That was like a limited time only version of Tyrone Davis.
Yeah, I think the stars aligned, and for
that was an all sales must go. Tyrone.
Yeah.
That was a Toys R Us liquidation sale. But how about I thought Elvis looked good. Bouncing back. That was a good fight opener.
Elvis, I mean, Elvis looked like he was getting tagged early. Like, I mean, this was one of those fights where you saw him like it took him a while to make an adjustment, but I thought Romero was hitting him a little bit too much too early.
I felt so too, but I gotta give Romero credit. He had the right game plan, and he was undefeated, and he came to win. Like, he honestly was the best match opponent on the card if you think about it.
Yeah.
Besides Plant.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was the only fight that I didn't like. When I heard it announced, I was like, yeah, cool. Okay, that was an opener type of fight, and I fucked with it.
That was a good fight.
Sad the opener is damn better than the damn rest of the card besides the main event.
Yes.
I like Rodriguez in the 140 mix on PBC, because 140 got a nice little stable junior welter. So
yeah, eventually that he'll be fed to 140 Gary Russ, or God forbid Sabril Matias.
Oh man, yeah, so those got potential fight of the years on it though, so I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, neither am I.
If you wanna be the business at 140, you just gonna have to just realize you're gonna have some tough fights, and that's the same way at 154. Like, If you campaigning at those two weights, like you can't really dance around cherry pick like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like even someone who's ranked number 9 or 10 that give you a good fight. So it is what it is. You have to fight somebody good.
Right, and then Ray Vargas. I mean, funny things too about Ray Vargas is like you look at his record. Dude has like over 60% KO rate, but he hasn't stopped anyone since 2016, which is wild.
He punches hard too.
Yeah, he punches hard. I don't know what it is. Why he can't get rid of these guys anymore? Like
temperament, man. It's like he gets into a groove of just backing up and lashing out, countering to the body and the head. Then he just backs up and he kind of just settles into just being a little counter puncher, like an aggressive back foot counter puncher. I don't know how to explain it, but he's not. When he has a guy hurt or he lights him up, he doesn't keep pushing the issue. Like he kind of just falls back, but he's beating you up with single shots. He's like a passive aggressive Navarrete, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but Navarrete just seems. But Navarrete, I mean, Vargas has power. There's not. I don't know what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but he's passive with it. Like he almost fights like a hybrid of Navarrete and Savannah Marshall. But Marshall and Navarrete, they got more like get it and go with them. Like they got more character. Like they'll lay back, but then they'll start bombing you out. Like Vargas he'll bomb you a little bit, then he'll lay back.
Right, and the thing was
that fight shouldn't have went no fucking 10 rounds.
Hell no, and Bears was catching all types of heat too. Like, and Bears got knocked out by Caraballo, who we saw last week. He got knocked out by Jason Maloney, and he's got knocked out by Julio Cesar Martinez. So it's not. I mean, so it's not like he's some sort of durable guy like that. You know.
Yeah.
So it was just weird that Vargas was just able to beat on him, not even score a knockdown on him, but. You know,
he still was getting caught with them overhand rights.
Yeah, he was. I was just waiting, but I mean, I don't know if maybe it's just the weight because he's at 126 now, so it's just like
he ain't fighting like 2 years. So,
I mean, I guess we could cut him some slack, but it's just so weird that you hit somebody like that and they don't necessarily go away, like. You know, but hopefully Vargas. I mean, Vargas is at 126 now. I mean, obviously, I think they're thinking about either probably making the Gary Russell fight, depending if Gary gets by Maxeo. That's who's his new mandatory and stuff like that. So, I guess
so we'll see this in like 2023 then.
Apparently, Maxeo fight is probably due for early 2022. You know,
that's what I'm saying. So we'll see Ray Vargas and Turbo Fist like 2023, 2024 then.
Although
I'm just keeping up with Gary Russell's schedule.
I mean, as a Gary Russell fan, like obviously, I joke.
I'm pretty sure by then Turbo Fist will probably have one of the turbo buttons a little, off.
Yeah, that's
work like training with his brothers. Shit.
That's the thing. I mean, because we all know, like, even inactivity, like Gary Russell's obviously a talented guy, but even like, but time, especially we've seen fighters right now who are not active. They start struggling to take some losses. And Gary has one loss. He hasn't lost in 7 years.
Russell a little different. Like he's like Thurman in a sense where he knows how to manage how to fight on them big ass inactivity breaks. But I think the difference is Gary Russell's in the gym more than Thurman is during these off times, and then he's training with his brothers. He got that young energy, and if you training with Angry Fist and the other nigga, like you can't. The turbo button got to stay on turbo. Like if you take your finger off of R1 just for a little bit, and you got them dudes, gunning at you,
and that's facts too. Yeah, but even then, like I said, I just have a feeling it's gonna catch up to it because depending on what.
Maybe in 2025.
I mean, if this was Gary, we say this Gary's actually still in his actual prime, like he's still prime age and everything. But we'll see how it goes though. But Vargas will be a good addition to see what type of work he can actually give Gary in the ring. So like I said, it was a fight that did go on too long, but at least Vargas got what he needed to, which was the W, just to keep his name and momentum.
There's been worse, more boring fights too. So yeah, I agree.
So yeah, the undercard itself, it basically was what it was. It wasn't anything spectacular outside of the Bolo punch knockout, but
Tiger uppercut.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like I said, you know, every time you see a bolo on there, yeah, you don't forget a bolo punch. You don't forget a punch like that.
Sorry, I'm not sure about
shit.
that.
Oh, sorry about that. That's my echo going off. I mute that shit. So yeah, the main event. You know, and to talk about feverish pitch, like Plant was just getting booed. By that time, anytime that anywhere Plant showed his face, it was boos, boos this, boos that. You know, they weren't fucking with Plant at all. Plant was, you know, and then Plant said that shit in Spanish too. You know, he said what? He said apparently he said, "I'll never let a white boy beat me" in Spanish. You know, if I'm not correct, if I'm correct.
Wait, what?
Something like that.
Wow.
When did he say? He never said that. Stop that. Stop.
No, I'm not bullshitting, nigga. He said that the fucking way.
No, he said something in Spanish.
Yeah, I
but
saw that. I saw that.
No,
I don't even know what
he said. Listo. I forgot what he said. What was it? I forgot. I don't even remember what he said. Like Listo something.
I saw a tweet on it saying that he said that, but
He did. He didn't say that. Stop that.
I mean, either way, I
had up
mean,
here remixing shit.
that's what that's what all the shit was kept. That's what I kept on seeing and saying. He said something in Spanish, and that's why I keep on saying. That's why I saw in the fucking tweets.
No, he said something in Spanish, but it didn't translate to "I'll never let a white boy beat me." I don't remember what
Was it I'll never let a ginger beat me? Like, I don't know.
I mean, but either way, after that though, like the boos was just like boo. Every time they showed him on the pay-per-view, every time they showed his face, boo. And you know, Caleb, he's just walking with that silly ass grin and his balding hair, boo.
God damn. You can't just be walking, like, you gotta be all that.
Nigga, I had to point out that he's balding, bro. Like it was completely necessary. I
didn't even know he's balding. Like, I don't look at boxers that way. I don't know.
I had to say that he's balding, bro. Like, you know how I get.
Damn.
Yeah, you know, but it was just crazy, dude. And then of course his entrance when he walked in with Conway, and it seemed like the audio was all fucked up, just like it was fucked up, just like the chick that was singing the national anthem too, fucked up, all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, God damn,
on Americans.
I was like, God damn. He's like, y'all never heard of a sound check?
They said, no. I mean, if they're gonna have the scorecards filled out already, they're gonna fuck up the sound too. I mean,
oh, that's facts. And then after that, Canelo had a Mexican Billy Ray Cyrus ass dude, you know, with his, you know,
that
you know,
country motherfucker.
yeah. And I was like, God damn, yo, boxers have some of the silliest entrances. Like, can't they just come out like looking like they're ready for war? You know, most of the motherfuckers came out there like they're about to do some mariachi shit. Like, jeez. You know, so, but it was feverish.
Arce still got the best Mexican ring entrances. Like,
yeah, they do. I mean, they do. But I was just like, damn, Canelo, could you guys do something a little bit like, you know? I wasn't in the mood to see a hick. You know, start singing some sort
better than some reggaeton bullshit.
Yeah, you absolutely right.
You can have 15 mariachi dancers. You can have fucking the Desperado jump through the building. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, no more reggaeton. Like, I'm good.
Facts, big facts. That's pure facts, now. So
you could do the damn Guatemala electric slide next. I don't give a fuck.
Y'all silly.
I'm just saying though, like, I mean, everybody feel that way.
Not me.
Oh, we gonna drop a reggaeton poll next? Like,
no. I mean, I don't hate reggaeton like y'all do. It's okay, I guess. But I mean, I don't want to hear it, but I'd rather hear that than mariachi.
Oh, then you like it then? Shit.
Doesn't mean I like it.
It's
given the choice between the two, I'll pick the lesser of which I like.
Man, I take mariachi. Like when I used to train in damn Warriors boxing down here, there's a guy, Tito Mendoza, super middleweight contender at the time. He used to come in there and train. He'll have all the damn Latin music that sound like mariachi, but it should be vibing. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take that over. And reggaeton was big at the time. I'm like, oh no. Put the mariachi shit. Like, I used to see Michael Moore damn shadow box the fucking Jaheim.
Yeah, so
I'll take that over some fucking reggaeton.
yeah, I guess I was lucky. At least at my gym, the guys used to play old 70s rock music like Sticks and shit. You know, so,
I mean, in my gym, I'd be boxing the damn 70s reggae. So
yeah, I wouldn't be able to train. Like, I'd be over here just be on some sly shit. You know, I wouldn't be able to train in that. Like, that shit would be too distracting. Oh man, but yeah, though it was. Yeah, these reggae entrances, there's something else though. But like I said, the crowd was hyped. You know, so I guess it did what it had to do.
Yeah.
You know,
we finally had a Canelo event that felt like an event though.
In a way, I mean, yeah.
In a way, like I mean, at least compared to everything else post damn Triple G rematch.
That's also true. I mean,
I know we aiming low here, you know.
Right. and I know that's like a big thing. Is like, you know, the Zone's production, Showtime's production. Yeah, you know, I know that's a big thing. You know, like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, although the opponent to me is like, I mean, it's all same level to me. But you know, at least it was good to see the crowd a little bit more engaged, and there was no fucking Sweet Caroline. So
yeah. Although I'll take that over reggaeton too.
Oh shit, yo. So LB, man, start us off, bro. This fight.
Like why me? Because I picked Plant. That's why.
Nah, nigga, yeah. I just picked you. I mean, it didn't matter if you picked Plant or not, nigga. It's like, but I just wanted, you know.
Yeah, nigga, drop your takes.
Damn, I'm like to light up for this one, man. Y'all bugging, man. I wasn't ready for this. I want to hear.
We'll get ready. Get ready.
I wanted to hear Pilot's praise. Hold on.
Oh, I mean, so if you want,
I mean, we could skip. The cipher will come back to you eventually. So
yeah, I mean, ain't no thing.
Let me just lay back and just, you know, get on this Plant pack for a little bit and just, you know, dissect all this shit y'all niggas gonna be saying. Then I come back with my piece.
Word. Hey, yo, Pilot, man, drop some knowledge, man. Yo, what was your thoughts on the fight?
I mean, it kind of went par for course. I think other than LB, we all picked Plant to get stopped. I thought it was a little later than. I mean,
I didn't pick Plant to get stopped, but
no, P picked the decision.
Oh, you picked the decision. Yeah.
I mean, he was still closer than LB though, but it's all good.
No, but I mean, you know, it went par for course. I mean, you know, Plant had some bright spots here and there, but Canelo was just bullying him, you know, until it was time. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It was a good fight. It was a really good fight, but it wasn't really competitive.
See, I disagree. I'll wait.
I mean, it wasn't not competitive. I'm just saying it was. I don't know what the scorecards were, but I'm sure Canelo was up on the cards, and rightfully so.
Yeah, no, Canelo was up on all cards. What was it? I think it was 98, 92, 97, 94, and then 97, 93, and then 96, 94 were the scores.
Which is about the only reasonable scorecard out that bunch.
Yeah. So, I mean, 96, 94. Yeah, and. I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, one thing's for sure, because this was the biggest thing. Like, what was the most, you know, I think a lot of people saw different things in the fight. Some people thought, Plant was getting broke down from round one. No. Or people were like, oh no, Plant was boxing Canelo up until like the last 2 rounds and Canelo took over. And then some people were like, you know, it was all over the place. Me, for at least the first half of the fight, and just like I thought it would be, I thought Plant definitely won the majority of the rounds. Yes, because like I said, a lot of Canelo's offense was hitting Plant's gloves, like, and the roll was
arms,
yeah.
and back.
Yeah, and Plant's shoulder roll was actually working, like, you know, to a degree. Like, Canelo was having a hard time hitting that dude. Like, I mean, but what Canelo did is because, you know, Canelo. To break a shoulder roll, you have to hit a part that's part of a shoulder roll, like whether the back or the shoulder or the arm. You know, they're not scoring areas, but they are legal areas. Mm-hmm. You know, and that is and that's what he did to Plant over time. But
like,
other than that, he was hitting that nigga clean in the face like that.
Yeah, Plant he was fucking the arm up similar to how he did to Colin Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, I mean, you can do it. I mean, because if you hit somebody in the arm and you tear a bicep or a tricep or knock the shoulder out, you know, you can't punch. You know, it's all the same. You can't score it, but it's still legal. So that's how you end fights. So Canelo knew what he was doing. But the one thing that Plant did not do, and it did come back to bite him in the ass, was the fact that he wasn't throwing any shots that was getting Canelo's respect. And this is what I said before on the preview too. This had to be done because Canelo is on that Mexican shit. You have to have him respect. Either you hit him or you hit him a lot to get him respect. And Plant did neither.
He did hit him with some shots, and he did hit him with. If you notice, I think it was in the 9th or 10th round. I believe he hit him with a double jab, and I believe a right to the body. And Canelo, like you could tell, like Canelo kind of like felt it. He like winced a little bit. Yeah, no, he was visibly like shaken up by that body shot.
Yeah, like the one thing I saw, Plant did from not since Triple J have I seen Canelo reset so much. Like when Plant was throwing his jab, Canelo was like he stopped and he had to reset. So that was pretty much like probably the biggest thing that Plant did in the whole fight with him.
He was good in the pocket. It's a nice catch and shoot right hand. Like the issue was like, and I was talking about this yesterday with a couple people, and I don't know if it's a testament to Canelo getting like improving or the test or a detriment to Plant's power or lack of power and just his form. Because like if you remember back to when Canelo fought Floyd, and Canelo had Floyd against the ropes, and Floyd hit him with that perfect counter right, and Canelo just kind of just shook up, like it stopped him in his tracks. Whereas now, like Plant hit him with that right, and Canelo was still pushing forward, but Plant really didn't get all in that right hand. For some reason, it was just a little off. He didn't get fully extended, but enough to like he obviously hit Canelo cleanly and hard, but Canelo just kept coming in and just bullied him more.
Well, that's the thing, is because he didn't respect Plant's power. That was the reason why. Whereas for whatever reason, Floyd was able to make him miss a lot, and Floyd was sharpshooting. Like Floyd hit Canelo clean plenty of times. And that's what made Canelo very wary, and that's why Canelo was throwing all these wild shots eventually in that particular fight, and Floyd was making him look foolish. Plant never did that. Plant wouldn't just plant his feet, and I think he hurt his hand during the fight as well, because after that, like he wasn't throwing a lot of heat, like later on in the fight. It wasn't just because he was tired or he got worn down. I honestly think he fucked up his hand again.
He might have, but he was frustrating Canelo though. Canelo was definitely frustrated.
Yeah, it wasn't like Canelo with Callum Smith, where Canelo was just walking him down and hitting him in the bicep or some shit like that. Canelo, you can see Canelo had to use his brain for this fight.
I mean, he resorted to bullying tactics when
he did.
Plant would finesse him. I mean, it was a good fight, and it was a close fight. Like some of those scorecards, I agree. I had it personally at the time of the stoppage. I had it 96-94 Canelo, but I could also see a 96-94 for Plant, and possibly a 95-95 at the time.
Fuck.
What?
You could see Plant winning this fight.
At the time of I could see somebody having Plant ahead.
Okay. Nah, I can't see that.
I mean, no, I don't agree with it. I'm saying I had Canelo up, but
we just need to start calling out bad scoring, nigga. Ain't no, I could see that. Nah, there's no way. Look, I'm gonna fuck it. Let me take it from here, man.
Well, before you do that, let me just acknowledge Rusty's comments. Rusty said the disagreements on the scoring comes down to what you like. Many the pity patting jabs or a few heavy thunder shots, and then he said Plant's right was useless. Might as well put a Christmas ornament on there. It's just
That's good. That's true.
I think it's like, all right. First off, Canelo had a solid performance. He did his thing. I was wrong, but Plant was a plus 600 underdog for a reason.
Yes, sir.
But I believed in his boxing skills and his pedigree, and he did some good things. I think he was better than a lot of people want to give him credit for, but then I think a lot of people want to give him too much credit. I think having him win, I think Plant winning 4 rounds is really the most accurate way you could look at it. Like, he won the majority of the first half. Like, he had at least 3 rounds out of the first 5 rounds. The only early round that was close like that I thought could have swung to Canelo was the second round. So I'm looking at it like, all right, Plant won the first, the third, the fourth. Then Canelo kind of started picking it up in the 5th, 6th. He kind of swept the middle rounds. Plant looked like he was about to fall off. He came back in the 9th round.
But Plant came back in the 9th round, and he won the 7th. The 7th was his best round.
I thought he won the 9th round.
And no, but the 7th was one of his best rounds, and like people were like, Farhood gave that round to Canelo, so that's 4 rounds right there. Then plus some swing
honestly,
rounds.
I could see when people were saying Plant had 5 rounds, because you either could give him the 2nd round or you give him the 7th. So if you look at, he won like at least 4 clear rounds, so to me.
Right.
But I don't see him winning more than 5 rounds.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I agree. Plant made it competitive where he was close on the cards, but it wasn't. There wasn't a part where I actually thought Plant even like, I mean, not even in a draw situation was that close. Although he had
different. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he did have enough rounds until he got knocked out to actually try to close the gap to make it maybe close. But yeah, in order for him to go, like he would have to have dropped Canelo at least once for me to actually think that.
He would have to shut out the last damn 10, 11, 12 rounds for me to say like, okay, he had that. But you know, the knockout erased all that shit. And
right.
He was being set up, but not to the extent people trying to make it seem. Like, Canelo was literally getting his shit boxed up early.
He was.
And
he adjusted.
It was with ring generalship and a good jab. The thing is that hurt Plant. You know how I said, you know, Wilder lost the Fury fight 15 years ago in the gym?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can all agree with that. Like, there's certain shit that within that amount of time you're supposed to just get right at some fucking moment.
Right.
Plant, he lost his fight 2 years ago after he won the belt, and he didn't really fight any challenges.
Well, you guys, I've been said that. That was my constant thing. I said that shit all the fucking time.
No. And honestly, you're not wrong. I mean, we all agreed on that. We've had podcasts where we was going in on Plant's resume, and you're the loudest. But the thing is, I know that even though if you don't have a fucking great resume, if you box and you have a good style and the pedigree is right and a good strategy, you could pull off upsets. You could win by boxing somebody.
So was he the weakest out of the 3 champs? You know, out of Callum Smith.
Hell yeah.
BJ,
Nah, in the fight itself, he did better than Smith and Saunders.
I don't know. Saunders, I think Saunders put us a better fight.
The thing, Saunders was doing better later into the fight when Canelo kind of just stopped him all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's true.
He had to get in his groove, but Canelo was kind of winning the early rounds with Saunders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So and even then, I felt like Saunders only won 3 rounds. You had people saying Saunders had 5 rounds and he was winning for all types of shit. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, it was all over the place.
I mean, people could say like, oh hey, man, you know, LB, you know, Sutter, you know, you're not a Canelo fan, but goddamn it, I'd be objective though. Like, I'd be disrespecting boxing knowledge if I were just, you know, being biased like that.
But yeah,
I would disrespect boxing odds as well. Like, Plant, he did some good things. The catch and shoot was good. I don't think he got a lot of credit for it. People say he didn't use his right hand enough. It's just how he used his right hand. When you do that catch and shoot and you're in the pocket with somebody, you gotta fucking follow through with the punch. You gotta actually step forward once you start, you know, getting those clean shots like that. It was a good counter for Canelo's left hook to the body. But then he would just shoot it real quick, and the effect it would have was like a jab. It didn't feel like a real right cross.
Yeah, and all I did was just make this nigga mad too.
Yeah, exactly. It was like throwing a damn spitball at a grizzly bear. When you got a baseball bat in your hand, it's like, nigga, like swing with the bat. What are you doing?
Right? Nigga was trying to bunt.
Yeah, like yo, do the fucking home run, and that's what kind of hurt Plant. Like Plant, like even if you can't punch, like or you don't have the power like that, you still have to believe in your offense. I'll never say you have to hit, you know, hard or be some big puncher to outbox somebody. I've seen too many times where a motherfucker don't have the power to hurt somebody and he outboxes them clean. Chris Bird, David Tua. So, you know, it could definitely happen, but it's how you use it. Another thing Plant did, he took too many unanswered body shots from Canelo. He constantly leaned forward a little bit for Canelo to do shots on his back and his kidney and, you know, and then he wouldn't answer back. He would fucking just circle out or move back a little bit.
Or, yeah, it wasn't anything. Like he made no real adjustment to that. And I think maybe it might have been ego. Like I said, oh yeah, I can take this shit, whatever. But Canelo, that Canelo broke him down with that.
So that's the reason. Because the thing is just that a lot of people give Canelo too much credit to his single shots. So that's why they'll have these big round discrepancies where, you know, if you think Plant only won 2 rounds in the fight, I'm like, wow, like, man, what were you watching? That means anytime Canelo did something, you gave him credit for it. And I don't really agree with that all the time, you know.
Right.
The big showy punches count, but you can't be getting ate up with jabs for like 30 seconds at a time and then get bailed out with just 2 shots in a round.
Right. So I mean, it was definitely something, man. It was like I said, you know, like I said, the Caleb Plant just didn't have. Like I said, there were a couple of functional things.
It was the game plan more so than anything else. The game plan and experience is what hurt Caleb Plant in this fight.
Right. So
he wasn't gonna score no knockdowns on Canelo like he did Ukateki, because Ukateki was running right into them punches.
Right, and it'll be one of those things. And I mean, like I said, Plant has what we call decent pop, but I didn't. But the only reason why I think a knockdown would have occurred is if Plant had actually rehydrated heavy enough, and you know, it might be like, hey, you know, Plant is an actual, you know, 168 pounder, and he's actually big. You know, he might, you know, maybe a punch might affect Canelo.
He still had the size, but that's the thing when these dudes get all this weight and they get bigger, they still don't fight like it. Jacob did the same thing with Triple G. Plant pretty much did the same thing with Canelo, like
right. And Count Smith like that out of all the title wins from Canelo at 168, that was the one that disgusted me the most, because that was the one I was like, Canelo
we should have saw a war with that fight.
Yeah, I don't know. It said Canelo just let himself get like, and me personally, me being a Titan, you know, I hated seeing a big dude gets bullied by a smaller fighter with this physical advantages. Like I can't fucking. I was disgusted.
If you put Liam Smith in Caleb Smith's body, and that fight could have been 7 rounds of 5.
Yeah, Liam Smith at least was competitive in his fight before he got bodied. You know, geez, like that fight.
That's why it always comes down to temperament and character. Like you can have all the right tools, all the right size, all the attributes, but if you don't have that thing that clicks in your head, like fuck it, I want to win, then you know. You get the outcomes you get, and Plant didn't believe in his offense like that. Like he was fighting like an amateur, like he would score, but sometimes you got to sit on your shots and follow through, because he was landing clean left hooks on Canelo, doubling up on him. He was landing good shots, but like whip them left hooks, like really fucking take pride in throwing them shits.
But I think he just wanted to be too stylish. I think also like that's also a thing. It's like he just think it was too cute. You know, like it's like you know I'm too slick. You know, yeah. He's like I think, and that's the thing we talk about with Shakur. It's like sometimes you gotta find the balance between defensive and offensive. You gotta be in. I think Plant that was the big thing. Plant kind of failed at.
Like, but the difference is Shakur would still have a steady jab on you, so he still controls the round. Like. Plant wouldn't do that. Plant would back up. He was doing the Jermaine Taylor versus Winky Wright game plan, but the difference is Jermaine Taylor hit like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
So when you running on him, he's busting you up. Fuck your guard.
Right.
And Plant don't have that, even though he has the size to do so. Like,
right.
You could be too slick, too pretty for, and it'll come to bite you. Because I don't know, I honestly felt like Plant took a little bit of everybody's game plan, but then he ain't put enough of his own sauce in it.
Right.
He took a little bit of Floyd game plan with the being in the pocket. He took a little bit of Golovkin with the back foot boxing and the jab was on point. He took both of those. Then he took a little bit of Trout with those volleys. Like the times when there was a time when he threw like a bunch of setup punches. It was like a 4-punch combination. All 3 grazed or didn't hit Canelo until the last one hit him, and it was like a straight right hand.
See what he
that was some.
I mean, he should have took some. He should have took something from when the GOAT James Lights Out Tony was trying to teach him something, and this nigga was looking on his phone and shit. Like
facts. I mean, I feel you on that, but I mean, he took 4 different game plans from he took from Trout, Floyd, Golovkin, all guys who had success against Floyd and Floyd. I mean, against Canelo. Floyd actually getting the win. Golovkin being robbed, Trout just getting, scorecard beat up, but he was still competitive in the fight. But Plant, he didn't have his own seasoning with it. He needed his own identity. Like, he took a little bit from all of that, but then he couldn't do what he was good at. The quick hands, the becoming like Sergio Mora and getting too cute with the defense. Letting Canelo get a mid-round surge, so he had to fight back in the fight, even though he should have had a lead. Mm-hmm. It was little shit like that. It's the little mistakes that just add up and just make things go downhill. And I think that's what happened with Plant. The competition, the experience, the strategy, the game plan, like all of that factored in. Like physically, he was there for the fight though.
He was. And like I said, he gave a good account of himself, but like I said, I mean, in the end, like the experience of fighting at a high level fight like that, it came to bite him in the ass, and you get what you get. And now Saul Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world in the first in its 37-year history, in that division. Of course, obviously, there's a whole bunch of conversations on where you want to put him in terms of all-time great in that actual division and in overall. But
I mean, since he's undisputed, they'll probably have him top 3. But
yeah,
it's about who you unify with. I don't think history's going to remember Smith, Saunders, and Plant like that. These guys had a chance to kind of mark their territory before
he's
Canelo.
No Roy. He's no Roy at 160.
Yeah, he's no Roy. No, of course not. And
yeah.
The competition ain't the same as the guys that damn Roy, Warney, and Calzaghe fought.
Yeah,
and I know niggas don't like Calzaghe, but niggas can't tell me that Smith and Saunders and Plant were better than Kessler and Jeff Lacey.
They definitely weren't.
Know what I'm saying? So I'm just, I mean, damn. You be hard to put them on the same tier as Marcus Bayer.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even like, I'm just being honest here. Like, I may give Canelo a hard time, but I respect, I recognize what he's great at and what he can do and shit. Yeah, I ain't no blind hater now, nigga.
I mean, Canelo's just low of character. I mean, that's basically his biggest flaw. So obviously I can't support him in that in anything like that.
And dude cheated, and he on a squad where niggas be cheating. So it's like there's a lot of shit going on where I could understand if someone don't really fuck with Canelo like that. You got former heavyweight champions talking about Canelo sometimes screams at me to work harder, and you gotta just do what he says. Bullshit, nigga, heavyweight champion.
Yeah, exactly.
You think Hagler could fucking yell at Mike Tyson and talking about, hey man, you gotta train harder. You better get the fuck out of here.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I'll knock your ass to a goddamn wall.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying this generation is different. You know, it's different. Like where like the heavyweight champion is supposed to lead the pack, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like what is this? Like you're not supposed to let smaller fighters dictate to you like that. Because I don't know, like even when you trained in a boxing gym, no matter how great the lighter guys in the gym that trained with you were, a decent heavyweight or the best heavyweight in the gym got that type of extra respect.
Yes, sir.
When the heavyweight walked into the gym and he's like, hey man, I ain't trying to hear this fucking goddamn music y'all playing, man. Put that fucking Wu-Tang on. Which I've seen happen. You know, you just be like, all right, man, you got supreme clientele, sir. I mean, you ain't saying it like that. But I'm just saying, like, all right, you know, bring out that ghost face, nigga. You cool, all right. Nah, I mean, but the way it is right now, motherfucking featherweight to come in there and be like, oh, what is this, Night of the Heavies? Turn this shit off. Nigga, put on that poor neck. And niggas would be like, oh, yes, sir, and start jumping over the tables and shit, trying to change the CD player. Like, nah, like, if you the heavyweight champion, you supposed to have a certain, yo, you can't fuck with me. I don't care how skilled you is, nigga.
Right.
I hit you my hardest and I fucking knock you down a weight class, like.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. But you know, credit to Canelo, he did what he did. Plan impressed me, but you know, if I could just drop a message to these guys, y'all niggas got to stay more active and stop looking for payday.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the last time Plant fought was in January. That's way too long for someone.
Now, if he had a real fight in January, wouldn't it have felt so bad?
Right, but he didn't. You know, he sat, and like I said, he sat on his belt. You know, and he could have fought anybody. Like if he could have fought in the summertime or whatever. You know, but let's say you know it's the payday. He fight for the paydays. He got $10 million too, but now he has no belt. Now he's gonna have to go back to getting 500, 600,000. God forbid.
Yeah, pretty much. But one thing this fight fucking showed me is why Canelo ain't want no smoke from Andre.
Yeah,
that's all this fight showed me.
Yeah, and that just brings me to like one of the things that on Boxing Twitter after this fight that I found unique too, because it seemed like now I think the biggest thing is like who will Canelo face next now that he's undisputed, and there are a whole bunch of names being bandied around. Some of them like we mentioned Darrell earlier. Darrell, at least he understood the assignment and he got himself, you know, he put himself on the map with a highlight reel. And then we got
Canelo said he's gonna make a decision in January, but he's not gonna fight until May.
Yeah, earlier he was talking about I'm gonna fight 4 times next year. Like, yeah, I'm like, like,
yeah, and the reason why is too because I mean in this fight too is that Canelo looked absolutely ragged. Like Canelo was not physically sharp like he usually is. Like,
that's because of what Plant was doing.
Yeah. So I think that's
we saw the same old Canelo we see all the time.
But this time it's like, you know, between the testing, it might be the testing, and also the thing I was keep up in terms of people, Mexican fighters from start at 15. Like, I mean, we're like Canelo is human. Canelo has wear and tear just like everyone else too. So he's probably like, you know what? Give me at least 6 months, and I need to like chill out for a little bit.
If he wanted to struggle with Plan, I doubt he would have changed his mind like that.
Yeah, if he body Plant within 2 rounds, that would have been like, oh yeah, you know.
Or even if he would have just walked over him like with no resistance, but he was feeling them body shots. He was getting hit with some good shots. He had a mouse under his eye, like
he did. And motherfuckers were saying that he wasn't touched. Like, yo, a mouse is a mouse. Just because he's pale and has red doesn't mean he doesn't show injury. Like, like niggas was wilding with that. I was like, yo, he definitely got hit. Like, I mean, if you look at the post-fight pictures, you can actually see his face.
His eye was swollen against Saunders too. Shit.
Yeah, so it's like,
but people just act like Canelo just walking through people, like, you know. But I think the performance has something to do with it as far as him coming back, and I know he wants to kind of see if people could just kind of run the table a little bit, because nobody has been active enough to really say, look, man, I got the people behind me. people want to see me fight Canelo and beat you. No, everyone's been kind of fighting, so opponents. To be honest, fucking Leon Williams, it was about the only credible contender and who fought like it that any of these recent guys in contention have fought, and Canelo not even looking at Andre.
Yeah, no. I mean, and it's we've talked about this before. Like, Andre could possibly be, one of a stylistic nightmare for Canelo, and
hits harder than Plant, quicker hands, bigger, more imposing, better jab, better defense,
better feet,
better feet.
Andre, yeah,
that'd be definitely a great match.
Like there was a reason he fought out of the 3 stylistic nightmares around him in his division. He made sure he avoided Andre, and he fought, UK Career Mode 2.0, and then he fought, Urban American Outfitters DLC.
I wouldn't mind seeing Canelo Benavidez. That'd be a hell of a fight.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah. At this point, I want to see that shit. Yeah. Give me all the forget these stylists. Give me a war now.
Because that's a war. And with Benavidez, Canelo have to deal with a much bigger, physically imposing guy with faster hands.
Benavidez ain't been fighting. It's the same thing with Plant. He has been fighting nobody that makes you say, okay, he has a chance. Fucking Gabe Rosado has been. You could say Gabe Rosado's been more worthy of a fucking Canelo fight. Think about it. Like, I thought he beat Jacobs. He beat Beck the Bully as a fucking 8-1 underdog, and he beat him by fucking knockout.
Knockout of the year contender. That was a dope knockout.
Yeah, definitely. So, like,
he gotta get the Munguia first, though. That's no joke.
Yeah, I mean, and let's say with Benavidez, obviously Benavidez has a fight next week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Obviously Benavidez can't lose that fight. Else he's crossed off the list. And then the biggest name that was being bandied around was Triple G. Like Triple G got some unexpected love on boxing Twitter, and I think and obviously because of he's the only one that's actually managed to put a dent Canelo since Floyd. That's so. And so, I was surprised to see.
And ironically, by the time Canelo fights again, Golovkin will probably have the best opponent faced during that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course,
and that's what fucks it up. A guy who already proved how good he is shouldn't be on cruise control in the later half of his career. Is still fighting the better, credible opponents than the young bucks.
Yeah. And like I said, and let's say his name, and it was just funny too how many notable boxers and boxing personalities was like, oh yeah, Triple G3. Canelo himself didn't even was like, yeah, okay, too. That's definitely a fight we'll explore. And obviously, the Zone obviously will definitely try to make a push for it because I think the Zone now really wants Canelo to get back on their network. I know
Canelo not stupid. If the Golovkin fight was so easy, he would have been did the rubber match and got that money and then just did what he had to do at 168. He know it's a hard fight, and to be truthful, he doesn't like Golovkin like that. Yeah, he don't fuck with him. Like, he's mad Golovkin caught him cheating. We just want to be honest about it. None of these other guys got the stature in the sport where they could force Canelo to do early testing.
Right.
And part of that reason is because these niggas don't build their status. They fight jobbers in career mode, so they don't become a name themselves. Like, Golovkin at least became his own payday. Mm-hmm. Nobody is becoming that. And you had all these motherfuckers on the Zone. Saunders and Smith should have been fought each other.
Right.
But what we get instead is just, the John Ryders and this nigga and that nigga fight.
Yeah, and they got their paydays, but at the expense of their belts. So
yeah, and their careers. Shit, ain't Saunders get retired?
Yeah.
Well, at least Smith came back with that vicious knockout, though.
Yeah, well, Smith came back at 175. He ain't at 168.
Yeah, he got chased out. Like, one got chased out the gym, one got chased into another division.
Right, so it's just like and then you have an aging middleweight, great middleweight the one, and he's the one that's actually giving. It's wild to me how Triple G is the one at 160 that gives harder fights than 168 niggas. Like that's not how it's supposed to work, people. Like it really isn't supposed to work.
You got Hall of Fame boxing skills. And you built up, and you got an amateur pedigree. That's how it works.
Yeah, no, but is it because eventually the size? I mean, of course, I still stick to the size thing because when Canelo does go to 175, and he will, because obviously that's Beterbie's division. He's gonna explore that fight at some point, but it's not gonna be anytime soon. But
and even Beterbiev, a lot of these guys is spoiling on the fight.
Yeah, Beterbiev is probably the biggest threat to actually KO Canelo. Like I'm not talking about decision, I'm talking about KOing him, but. Beterbiev's biggest thing is he's just inactive, and although he does have a good fight coming up for him, at least something with Brown, hopefully to get rid of Brown.
Yeah, he's got a punching guy coming up. Basically.
Yeah, but
Brown is capable. It's just he's one of those hot and cold.
Yeah, but he's there to be hit, and so Beterbiev's gonna land at will.
And remember, Beterbiev struggled in his last fight. He didn't look like he was getting boxed up at points in his fight.
Well, it was more like I think he had the ring rust that's going, and it took him a while to really get into gear.
That too, but if it was just ring rust and not the other fighter, he would have got him out in the damn 5th round.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what's worrying because he needs to be more active because. I mean, Beterbie's career is already, it's actually a tragedy that because he should have at least 10 more fights on his record, So I mean, a whole lot of nonsense kind of stalled his career, and he's still dangerous. He still has a signature win. He still rules his division. He's the lineal champion at 175.
But I know he would look a lot better and a lot sharper if he stayed more active, just like all these guys. But
the problem is that Beterbiev
is doing it.
Yeah, but Beterbiev is 36 too, so this is it'll be like the Triple G shit again. Like he's facing an extremely dangerous fighter that's not necessarily at the tail end of their actual physical prime. And we have to hope that Beterbiev, who is actually chinny for someone with his power, doesn't get stopped. So it's like
that's what I'm saying. LaMarcus Brown, he has a shot,
Yeah, he definitely has.
Beterbiev should still be a big favorite, but at least Marcus Brown could throw something in there. Like this is the same guy. A lot of people thought Badu Jack was gonna beat him.
Yeah, and in terms, Marcus Brown had a damn near career best win, and beat the shit out of Badu Jack.
Dishing out a career best cut.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that was
then he pissed his momentum all away after that.
Well, I mean, he did probably lose to Super Soldier, Pascal.
But I don't care what juice you on. Like the dodge or overhand right is still the same maneuver. Whether if you want fucking Crystal Light, Kool-Aid, fucking Super Soldier Serum, all sport Gatorade, I don't give a fuck. Like the skill, you still supposed to do certain things with your skills. Like.
Right.
So yeah, I can't give him no pass for that. Even though he was fighting a damn fucking Winter Soldier and shit, but still.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with Canelo, let's say he has plenty of prospective opponents. It just depends on by January to see who's the one that actually might made the biggest impact, or whoever enforces a mandatory on him, one or the other.
Yeah. Realistically, I think it's gonna be between Golovkin and Beterbiev.
Or Golovkin or Benavidez. Benavidez is a strong one. I know they want the Benavidez fight. Because
they got to give back to the Mexican community. They got to fight one of their guys. So
yeah, because Benavidez is probably the only other guy outside of Golovkin that's actually being seen and he can actually beat him. Like at this weight now, not having to go up to 175 or shit like Benavidez. Benavidez probably can really damage.
I gotta see how Benavidez looks this weekend because he's fighting a string of guys that it's like,
Yeah, that's why it's like, like Tyrone.
I'm saying at least Beterbiev is still a champion. Golovkin's still a champion. Is something extra with those fights where it could be a little bigger. Whereas Benavidez, I think that'll be the most entertaining bout.
Andrade or Benavidez, who poses a bigger threat to Canelo?
Andre for sure.
Hold on.
Yeah,
you saw the Plant fight, nigga.
Yeah,
now watch the Plant fight on steroids. No, never mind.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, but Benavidez offensively can make Canelo's life hell. You know, but
He's
Canelo
open to get hit, though. He's open to get hit.
Yeah, but yeah, Canelo.
Honestly, he'll get lit up, but it'll make Canelo's going to have to change his off because you don't really see Canelo land or throw overhand rights like that.
No,
and that's the one punch that Benavidez is open for.
Right. So,
but the thing is, since Canelo's such a shorter guy, he'd be right in line for them Benavidez uppercuts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting stylistic kind of matchup to see how they kind of deal with each other's best weapons. So it has that going for it, and plus, be nice to see a guy make Canelo work for a change. Motherfuckers just be like, let me just throw 300 punches around.
Yeah, like I would pay for that on pay-per-view. You know, I already know I'm probably gonna be heated when I get my cable bill now, and I'm like, I really spent $80 on this shit. You know, so.
I like one of those damn what's that shit on TikTok where they be like, what the fuck? God damn it! They're gonna be throwing couches and shit.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes, like, I mean, I've paid for pay-per-views before, you know, so it's not. I mean, in the past, so,
yeah,
there's people who bought Vitaly versus Danny Williams. Man, you'll be all right.
I paid for Pacquiao Broner, so joke's on me.
I paid for
that wasn't that bad though.
The undercard was cool. Wasn't the undercard pretty cool for that one?
You got that was a fire card.
And I paid for Canelo.
The ending put a whole egg on it. Like I felt like I wasted.
Yeah, I mean,
I buy pay-per-views for the whole fucking card. Like, yeah.
No, I feel you, but I still wouldn't put that as the worst one to buy.
I mean, the card was good, but Broner looking at the clock like round 6 was kind of trash.
I mean, I bought Canelo and Gulo. Okay, that.
Oh wow. Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah, that one was egg on my fucking
just wanted to see him fucking bag work.
Yeah, no, I thought Angulo could have had a chance at least because Angulo is a big puncher, but you know that deterioration kind of kicked in that particular fight.
You gave Angulo a chance against Canelo?
I did, nigga. This was 154 Canelo. I wasn't convinced on Canelo's stamina. Canelo's stamina was trash.
Wow, like even Plan had a better chance to him than me. I mean, to me than that.
Nigga, I was just hoping, niggas. That's the like I said, it was egg on my fucking face, and then the other fight that I wanted, I wanted to see with Molina and Charlo, that shit got changed because Molina got fucking arrested the day of the fucking fight and got deported. So, yeah,
Goddamn.
It was. We learn lessons. Though. That's why that's the spice of life, bro. We learn lessons.
Speaking of Charlos, y'all seen that shit with them in the herd, tripping in the
herd pushing them down.
Yeah.
That's the closest we'll ever get to a fight between those two.
I mean, y'all seen the tweet, nigga? Shit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, the Charlos, everywhere they go, is like seems like when they're not trained seriously, they just get into some fuckery. Like they say a whole bunch of wild shit on camera, and then they start pushing themselves with their stablemate. Like, what is their problem?
They'll punch camera. Well, I think what somebody said. What do you think Benavidez is dangerous? I see some video someone posted up and
what makes Canelo so dangerous or something.
Yeah. That's it. My bad. I'm like, dude, like one of these y'all gonna run up on the wrong nigga, motherfucker, gonna damn fight y'all back or some shit.
Right. Or do worse, you know.
Yeah, pull out the blicky or the stabby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think the Charles need to stop being so many fucking hotheads. Like these are
mainly Jermell. Jermell is like takes it. He's way too emotional.
And then when you put them together, it's the same thing anyway.
But I've seen some times where like Jamal can be level-headed, like especially when they're together and like he tells like the person like the interviewer like, you have to excuse my brother, he just doesn't know any better.
Like, damn.
Yeah. Oh
man, the Charlos. Oh my goodness. Like,
I mean, but then again, I mean, Jamel is the younger twin. It's always the younger twins that always got a chip on their shoulder and prove they got something to prove. Like younger brother syndrome, especially a twin.
Yeah, and Jamel, you know, I mean, I think he's still smarting from that draw. So you know, he's been kind of been lashing out since then. You know, so it's like, you know, yeah, like just.
And remember, Maul, he had that incident in the store after the Montiel fight.
Yeah, so yeah, like Charles just needed to cool out. They didn't need to do all that, and Hurd just needs to get back in the ring. Stop getting involved in wild random fuckery. Learn how to box. You know, stop absorbing punches and shit. So
him and Jay
last saw you getting beat
each other now.
Yeah, we last saw you getting beat up by Aries. So
who's probably gonna be Maul's next opponent, next title defense? By the way,
I mean, Aries earned a big fight, but
it's just like it has the feel of who's next up, who's available, rather than let's try to find the best opponent.
Is that rumored? Is that a rumor?
then we're only gonna get one of these types of fights a year, so it's like, like these niggas is literally down wasting their careers away, and I hate to say it because I'm a fan of the Charlos, and I feel like they could be big time dudes, but maybe it's just not in the cards, man. It's not in the stars.
Well, Mel is I think Mel just had his first little Maul has just been he's like Mel at least has.
But we always gonna group these niggas together, like Mel, like
for better or for worse.
For better or for worse, like Mel, he'll do good, but then it's like outside of the ring, he's like horrible, like. and Mel is better in the ring. I mean, and Maul is better in the ring. I mean, he's better outside the ring, but then in the ring, it's like you get mid-ass fights, so it's like.
I think he just needs to move up to 168 soon. If he's not gonna fight all these fucking people, like it's ridiculous. Fight the people at 160 or move up.
I think niggas need to just get over what happened with the Andre incident back at 154 and just fight each other. Like, I'm tired of hearing that excuse now.
Like they need to make this fight. Hearn says he's ready to work with Heyman to make the fight. Y'all need to, like you can't be fighting like you're fighting and thinking that shit's gonna be sweet. Like Maul, I mean,
Jason Quigley
is fine for now with who he's facing. It's just Maul that needs this.
Thank you, because even Jason Quigley is a more liver opponent than Montiel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like everybody shit on Andre, but he's low key at least been having steady contenders who've been kind of earning shots at him, whereas everybody else is just random select mode, like. Right,
and that's why, that's the reason why Canelo has all this fucking power, because these fighters, you know, they get enabled, and then someone else, you know, takes their spot, takes their, you know, everything that comes with it, because they simply just they don't do enough. It's unfortunate, and that's why Canelo has the status that he has, because he's the only one that's actually doing it to that high level, and that's why they're all like, they're like hoes, like yeah, Canelo, fight me next. I want the payday, fight me.
And it's like, damn it, like
you want payday.
Yeah.
So Charlo brothers, it was like ringside damn at a Canelo fight, and I'm like, nigga, like, what about y'all own fights?
Yeah, exactly. I'm still waiting on the Castano rematch. It's supposed to be, this shit should have been signed by now. Like, what are we doing?
Tszyu took another fight.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole reason.
And it's almost like he wanted to see who was going to be the undisputed, so he could fight for undisputed.
Right, yeah, Tszyu was trying to make lateral moves. Like he said, okay, I'm gonna fight another dangerous 154 fighter while y'all figure this shit out. Because he was
improve. You know, I'd rather see a guy fight somebody that can improve him than just taking a damn random select mode.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Just
what
the fuck sometimes.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, that's why Canelo has his power. That's why Canelo can pick and choose his opponents. Who he wants, how he wants it, when he wants it. You know, so it's like, you know, that's how it goes, man. But but everything else, like, you know, the whole card was what it was. In the final, you know, Canelo's undisputed champion. Clint will most likely, you know, if he broke his hand again, will probably be out for a little bit before we see him. We probably won't see him until maybe spring 2022 or anything like that.
These niggas better start balling their fists up in these gloves, yo.
Right.
It gotta be something. Like,